Welcome everyone to another recording from the archive. You've seen it here first, 18-year-old fixes bugs in every open source package to release a working Linux distribution 25 years later. Also, a little bit fun of other people in the news. Hey, some 23-year-old fixed a bug in Firefox. Yay. Yeah, been there, done that. 16. Anyway, as a bonus, you finally see unreleased footage from my family photo album. So, also on the thumbnail, that is a Pentium Pro. That was not mine, that was at work. Couldn't afford, I was sitting with 120 MHz Pentium at home. So, we have things to fix like it was in 1998. Rust, of all things. This is compiling along. However, so that is MIPS, and we have Linux distributions to release. And if you want to play along at home, I actually yesterday night already uploaded new test ISOs. I continue to put my company's money and promises where my YouTube live streams are, and release early and release often. So, hey, more releases than GNU glibc. And so latest is 23.10. This is completely fresh, error-free build. Epic thread ripped through that here. Clang Musel, I thought. Yeah, Musel. Yeah, the naming could actually, do I not remove? Are there still? Okay, still probably naming perfections to do. So Clang build, Clang default build, with glibc, a Musel build, a standard glibc. Yes, so some stuff. Oh, actually, did I build? So we will fix Rust in a moment, right? Just like fresh out from my coffee break at work to the open source after work party here. We have Rust to fix in a second. Just the other stuff is compiling along. We can, by the way, commit one thing already. So basically, for those who are new to this stuff, my life here now, Big Brother on YouTube, building this amazing Linux distribution, supporting what nobody else supports anymore, like Itanium or SG Octane. And if you are, if you share, like, and subscribe enough, then I will put extra effort in making our SGI builds also work on SGIO2 again, which I didn't even have in production yet. Anyway, GCC, so what do we have there? Oh, there's actually slightly more. Okay, hotfix, MIPS 64 and architecture MIPS. So the previous patch from a year ago was imperfect and doesn't apply anymore. So updated, rebased and corrected. GCC MIPS 64 defaults and so whatever. That looks good. That is building, so we can finally get to work what we wanted to. Just look at our 1998 or 2023, what does build on all architectures by default? I likely have, every package you need to boot a Linux system anyway, and then probably some. So yeah, 65,296 revisions later, plus all the stuff that was before the subversion history, so likely 100,000, or actually, I would not surprised if I would contributed 100,000 changes over the course of the last 25 years. If I would, if we would be as successful as Debian, I might take my archive out of zip disk and CDs. Theoretically, I could reconstruct a little bit more of history. It, of course, sucks in retrospect that in 1998 we didn't have an amazing concurrent version system. CVS sucked so much that nobody with more than 10 files seriously used it. And so yeah, the subversion history, log revision 1, that is 2003. So the first 5 years, like, hey, at least we have 20 years of history. That is more than other packages projects have to show for. Theoretically, I could reconstruct probably a little bit of Rock Linux 1.2, 1.4 desktop. The problem is we had Claire's standard Rock Linux and my desktop Rock Linux. So they were two parallel fork tracks, and then all the stuff like this was already out of sync. So in retrospect, I mean, it would be difficult. Anyway, it's probably, given that we are not yet a multi-billion-dollar project, it's probably not worth spending my time and sorting old patches and excuse the big capital noise. Recurring theme here. Cars can't make space for ambulances, so doesn't need climate activists. The cars can block the streets fine themselves. So we have Rust to fix. I thought, like, yeah, let's cancel that. ls build MIPS because we want to release, and for release we need, by the way, did IA64 fully build? IA likely not did it. I thought I built this overnight. I didn't even have time today to check what my IA64 build did overnight. Not reverse sort that, so yeah, find size 0, that works. RM, accept, okay, fine. Then not selectively rust, cargo, rust, and so we obviously need that. All the other stuff probably built. So I thought I had Rust fixed for, what did happen here? Why did this IA64 not fully built? Don't tell me we need to LD segmentation fold in the BFD core socket. Don't tell me we need to hunt another AMD Zen 4 bug. Previous video. AMD errata 1485 or so. Have I ever done SAP development? No. I do not want to lose the last remaining brain cells of sanity. Why do you ask? I mean, yeah, how to get millionaire quickly, do SAP, how to lose even more sanity than doing open source SAP. Anyway, yeah, I probably should do that. I probably should, like, if I would be more clever than doing only Patreon and only fund open source work, would of course be to reinvent, copy, steal and reinvent some expensive business processing software, calling it RAP or so, and like just make it half as big and twice as good as SAP. Probably a success story. So rustc, this, as far as I remember, this failed. Also nothing like let's nice that. I don't want to the IA64 build. What's freaking going on? Let me guess. Some car drivers or self-driving cars crashed into each other again. Recurring theme daily in this big city life. So rustc, so that failed. Of course, I probably deleted the wait, what? Ah, this is also thankfully the wrong user. No offense from their side. No, I don't mean, I'm only joking about how, like, everyone I know who does SAP tells me how horrible it is. And given all the big newspaper stories of big mega corporations like Lidl and Aldi or some of that sort try to migrate to SAP, and after 1 billion cancel, it's an unsuccessful project or stuff. Something of that sort. So yeah, rustc does Rust stuff. So that did fail. Let's see, at least as far as I remember. I mean, we could probably, like, we did I even build the right... so it's there, it failed. I wonder if I even... Probably. Let's do one more thing in parallel here. Because MIPS we need 2. And then it's probably time to switch back to the Epic server, Epic remote server, and Epic thread rip through all the fixes. Sound generic, yada yada, all the stuff, blah blah blah. So let's knife that to MIPS all just for the complete test coverage. And let's see what's going on here. So as far as I remember, I had this fixed some month ago. Just either, whatever the case might be now, I have no idea what. Okay, it somehow has, okay, it looks like it compiles, and then linking with GNU ABI CC. So it looks incompatible with that of the selected emulation. So the problem with this shit here is, unfortunately, as far as I remember, these temporary files disappear. Or are they still there, at least? Are they still... Are there? Something is still there? Okay, amazing. MSB, most significant bit relocatable, MIPS. Do you see everything, by the way? It looks like it. So that is not N32. ELF, 32-bit MSB relocatable, MIPS version 4 not stripped. So that's not N32. So that is obviously explains. So I touched the patch, but that's also the thing, right? Why do I live stream all this stuff? For 25 years, first I sat in my parents' basement, then my student apartment, and on some chaos computer congress and camps and Linux talks at Claire at home, and now in my office. And for 25 years I fixed stuff. Right? And even I diffed this, even I rediffed the GCC stuff in my lunch break today without even live streaming it. Like, this is just, that needs to be tweaked, that doesn't build, that doesn't match. So by the way, the GCC MIPS defaults are really strange. For MIPS 64 it builds 3 multilib by default, which I would like. I would say no normal Linux distribution, like which operating system, like soon, given how, did Debian already delete it? Nowadays they're also quick to delete stuff because they don't cross-compile like us. So 3 multilib variations. So by default GCC tries to build 32-bit old-fashioned, 64-bit old-fashioned, or old standard SGI ABI, and N32, like no normal operating system probably ever. Leave me in the comments below. I mean, maybe, I would say never, because I don't know all the Debian craziness of it, and people then flame war me in the comments. I spread misinformation, fake news. But I mean, maybe Debian shipped it like that, could be, whatever, but it also makes no sense, right? In T2, we usually for 64-bit architectures ship 2 multilib, like 2 that make, I mean, usually there are only 2, and if there are more than 2 multilib, like 32-bit old and new and 64-bit and 32-bit pointer variants and whatnot, like if, like we ship the 2 most standard, that makes the most sense, right? And like shipping all 3 doesn't make sense. Anyway, this is why we patch this stuff. And I rediffed that. Also, it looked to me today that I probably had a bug in there. That happens at times with changing the stuff back and forth. Not really sure. This is modern life, right? You think it's a family, then who knows what notification it was? Wasn't a family. Yeah, like 2023 notification on Android also still sucks. And on iOS they suck even more. Anyway, MacBook. So comments there. MacBook became a toaster. Building embedded minimal. Also a few packages. Use libc business and drop here. Had outdated checksums. That sucks. Good that you mentioned that. Patch is always welcome. Good that we test build uslibc. Not sure, by the way, do we have a win-win? Also, we need to... By the way, do we build this nice? Yes, we do. Let's check. Sometimes there is a new drop here. No? No. Did I download it? I don't know, it loads for me from the mirror though. Not sure why you get... I mean, patch is welcome. What did it download? PC2? Not sure why. I mean, uslibc I have... Oh, no, I didn't. It doesn't... I mean, it comes from the mirror and... I don't know. It downloads for me though, but... Yeah, patch is welcome. GitHub, our Discord, YouTube comments, or the mailing list. Rust. I thought I had here hotfix. Is it that one? No. Soft not compatible. I wonder if we still need that. Oh, here's some MIPS N32. So. Or do we need... Maybe this is wrong. We have here... Maybe we need... I don't know, maybe I messed that up. I remember I probably rediffed that here recently. Like recently, like that recently? Which file is that even? GNU ABI 64. Here's ABI 60. No, this file was not, this part of the patch wasn't even touched there. Sometimes it even takes me a minute to... maybe I broke it here then? How many changes? Yeah, this is why I say even we need to release... Wait, why does it... Ah, I see, I diffed the wrong file also. Arch... Ah, yeah, I probably mangled that here, so that was minus... Or was it? What was here previously? So that's a diff of a diff, that it can be tricky, so... I mean, we could also cat that. So that is the changed. So that changes it from MIPS 64 to... And how did it look on the previous? That was... Oh, this you see. I clobbered the... It's like so much to rebasing and rediffing and rediffing of again and again. So it looks like we need... I'm not sure why... We can then better not touch this line here. LLVM target, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So what did, should this probably should be the same amount of changes, shouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Probably should be fine. So yeah, maybe that's all, but this is also the thing, right? With the sheer amount of changes, even I break stuff at times. Okay, let's Control C that we can outsource that testing on other people Epic servers. I should, Yannis, how to pronounce the name, Yannis? I'm so bad at international name pronunciation, I'm sorry. Curl error return 23, download after setting checksum mention. If curl gets an error, it shouldn't be the checksum, I think. Write error, could not write data, local files is more similar. I mean, maybe you were out of space or other disk corruption. I don't know, that is strange. And welcome hackers. That is a good, I like this, Alexander. I should copy this. Like, T2 Linux, a necessity for gracious necessity for gracious living. Patching StarFive, 6.1 kernel, get to be able to or debug FS, developers right, that sounds cool. Speaking of StarFive, it's probably still not all mainline, right? So last time I checked the graphic stuff for Power BI also, but you're saying 6.1, so you probably mean their 6.1 repository. Theoretically I need a, actually I have an SSD in there, actually I should, there's so much, I mean, okay, I don't need, maybe I should focus more on doing the important stuff, so theoretically I still need to reformat this hard drive. I wonder, I have a Crucial in there, and Crucial P3. I probably also need to solder a resistor here. There's this saying that the fan takes too much power, like the bundled fan. It's also too, I mean, it's a little bit silly, right, that they didn't pulse width modulated on such a fancy board. So I wanted to solder a resistor in there for less fan noise and less power draw. And I also wanted to reformat it to 4K sectors and see, because, I mean, given that this cores are not the fastest, I got here, how much did I got? 270 megabyte SSD transfer. Wanted to see if the reduced potential reduced command overhead would improve the performance with 4K native sectors, maybe more than on, maybe their potential performance could show more. Previous video, right? More left channel. Anyway, so this still fails the same. Failed to merge, so this still didn't. Okay, this is still not the right one. 6. So I believe it changed. I think previously it was 32, but right, do we have this in the scroll back? So it changed from 32-bit MSB relocatable to 64, but this is also wrong. It says 64, MIPS 64 release 2, that is wrong. And also we need N32. How can I... So I believe these were underscores, right? That sucks a little bit. Also I searched that wrong. We have MIPS 4 here though. And we have here GNU ABI N32. What did we build here? And welcome everyone. That was a phenomenal notification. Selected emulation. So what did we... Okay, we could actually, given that that Horizon doesn't have enough to do, let's continue MIPSL. Nothing like checking stuff. Why does this not... No, it does. So what are we building? Women, like all the schools look here like skid. Then going to the actual school, all the schools here look here like shit, and then our local school, oh, it actually looks quite nice. It's like, yeah, arguing with me that all the Berlin schools are like shit. Looks like, you. It's not such a developing country here. x86. Okay, fine, I've seen the school photos. What are we? MIPS GNU ABI N32. I mean, there always is a possibility that some of the other excessive patching goes wrong. Hello, where is even the... Ah, caps lock goes on, that explains the thing. MIPS 64 GNU ABI N32. But this file says otherwise. Maybe we patch something wrong. Was it here? So many package, so many files, mods, MIPS 64 GNU ABI. Or did I patch that wrong? No, GNU ABI N32. Or did I patch? I really lose here my... No, it's GNU ABI N32. Maybe the max atomic width is wrong though, but... shit, why does this not work? What I really, after 25 years, I mean, okay, I probably broke it myself. I could log into the server, loopback mount the server. The benefit of, I'm considering to split the ISOs out of boot code and packages, so that the packages are not in the ISO and the packages would be in the directory here. Everything has pros and cons, of course. One pro would be I could just click on here and see in the directory if it includes Rust, but it probably should have included Rust. But man, why does it go wrong? I so hate this. Or am I... Oh wait, or do... I know, but it changed, right? Why is this ELF 64-bit MSB relocatable? One thing is always, is this... Or did I clean the build? Oh shit, did I just grab the build? Let's maybe do it again because I probably cleaned up the build in the meantime. So what could be the cause? The causes could be not the right spec file could be used. Other stuff could be hard-coded. Actually, it's LLVM Clang. LLVM. It could be that there is a new bug in LLVM. So this is all the things we would need to debug, right? Is the right spec file used in rustc? Is it passed correctly to LLVM? Let's check if what happens if we changed yesterday, so we now have the right prefix Clang. What happens if we misc archive hello C compile that unknown target CPU? Thank you very much. We probably should translate that to, where is it even? So that is Clang wrapped. It's interesting that we probably only do that for Rust, or do we do this for LLVM? So many details. I mean, after 25 years, we still need, and it's also, I said it before, right? In my opinion, LLVM Clang should support the identical definitions. I mean, maybe I should simply patch it into LLVM and be done with it. Maybe that is better time spent than implementing more new quirky ways to rustc. Yeah, we translated for Rust, but not for Clang. I probably should implement it in LLVM proper. But it's also a design process, right? So that's only a warning, though. What did it do here? This is not built. Ah, no, it's an error? How is this an error? Ah, all I wanted to test is that. Well, it is N32 MIPS 64 release, but it also says MIPS 64 release 2. That's of course not ideal. It should, but that's N32. Did I overlook the N32? In the other, maybe it was lost in wrapping. Maybe it was at the edge of the screen. So, by the way, does this can this link? Let's see if that links. Adding symbols in wrong format. It is. Is this even the? Yeah, that is wrong. Which do we even? Oh, we have multiply. We have a mess here. Yeah, so many details. It's somehow silly with so many people, like Apple and Chris Ludner and team wanted to make everything better, and then like everything not totally mainstream, or even mainstream, but especially everything not totally mainstream, they implemented like not GNU-C GCC compatible. So hello world compile MIPS 4, was it file hello O? But this also, I believe that is wrong. This is probably hard-coded wrong. Actually, I just, you know what, I had a patch for that I just deleted. It looked correctly implemented. Maybe it wasn't. I mean, given that it doesn't build, it probably wasn't. Okay, let's try that again. C64. Let's see, maybe it is N32 and I overlooked it. No, I don't see N32 here. I didn't overlook it. And that... Okay, let's... package rustc I believe I deleted it with what? This update? There still appears to be 5 days ago. It's the latest version. RMEB. Here, hotfix LLVM MIPS N32 maybe? So yeah, I did that. If target options ABI contains N32. Reverse merge. Oops. Reverse merge that here. Revert all we need. Move this patch here back to. So let's build it again. This will not apply. We need to double check what precisely was done there. So much to the other live streamers like, hey, upstream implemented N32 support. It's like, doesn't work, maybe. Maybe it needs another encoding. I mean, I wonder if they added a matching. Wait, does it build? No, it doesn't. It takes surprisingly long to apply though. Maybe my system is a little bit busy. So compiler code gen. So we had that session target ABI contains N32, and what did they? ABI2. They have session target options ABI name. If the ABI name is explicitly given, use it or default to 032. So if session target option, what did I had? I had ABI contains N32 and they have ABI name N32, but in general it does not look, it looks okay-ish, but somehow it does of course not work. Oh, this didn't patch yet. I believe this was a... Maybe they added this here now. MIPS unknown Linux GNU. This probably is new. Or is it? But this is not... Did we patch that, or... Maybe that is our pre-patch stuff. That might not be their stuff. So someone implemented that but did not add a target? Apparently. So many confusing details. Session target options LLVM ABI name. At least IA64 builds. Nothing like doing it again. So it should be this one. This is what we patched together. ABI, do they have... So this doesn't match, right? I had contains. So we have, do we have GNU ABI N32. GNU ABI N32. Does that work in Rust? Cool, something. Ah, Go. Yeah, we also need, of course, amazing contributing developers changed Go stuff, updated Go stuff, and but it's, of course, would also happen to me, right? I touch Rust stuff and break it. Yep, the set thing is okay. You know what? Let's control set that for a second, so that our Rust build is a little bit faster. We could check LLVM 17. Oh, by the way, it's a new LLVM release. They still have not, and why have they not? I said the other live stream, more main channel, unprofessional GNU Free Software Foundation release. Like, why do they have, did they not like release that? Like, are they still unsure about their, it's like, why is that not front page news? What did I, like, is that not like stable release because, nah, bugs and whatnot? Like, why is that not updated? I don't. So this is also funny. They have, did they not have 1606? They also didn't add here, right? Like $100,000 projects, and they can't even get their download links in sync. Yeah. Anyway, LLVM. Hey there. 18-year-old software engineer, would like to say that you're such an inspiration. Happy to hear that. You're programming for hours almost every day. Love your passion, unlike lazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not calling them lazy. It's just, they certainly have a lot to do. But I mean, that's also not developer, but release management. But this is what surprises me, right? There's so many thousands of developers, and then I mean, yeah, personally, I was also not the best with releasing T2 for the last decade of my unsuccessful tiny little hobby Linux distribution. But we also don't have 1,000 developers, right? So, yeah, and doing better now, thanks to your share, like, subscribe, patronage and stuff. Okay, this still doesn't work. This is somehow... The thing is, of course, that this project is also so humiliating large, so that like single developer like ourselves trying to find and patch stuff needs so much time doing stuff. Why do I get so many messages here? Clear all notifications. I don't even see what the last freaking notification was. So LLVM, grab GNU ABI N32. So I didn't make this up, this LLVM triplet target parser. So I did not make GNU ABI N32 up. That really is a thing in lib target parser triple CPP. Did they make this up? Is N32 a thing? There is data layout. So, okay, there is ABI starts with N32. Okay, that is also a thing. ABI N32. Okay, maybe this should only be N32. Maybe compute target unknown ABI for MIPS. But that, do we hit this assertion? Maybe we should use N32 after all. MIPS ABI info compute target ABI. I mean, we could try, but I have the suspicion something is not used correctly there. Because I don't think we hit this assertion. So something else probably, I mean, okay, if we like, let's try that. Although I have the suspicion this file is not used like it should be. Then let's maybe disable that again. Let's patch that to, so target is GNU ABI N32 and as ABI, but this ABI 64 is also wrong. I mean, they have what now? I don't get this. Did they rename the ABI options? Because I only see there. Something is fishy there. So much back and forth, I hate this. Ah, WebKit, okay, this actually failed really because this whatever dependencies. I slightly, right, we can't build Firefox for IA64 because we don't have Rust for that in LLVM. To be fixed another day. So this is so confusing. So we had ABI 64, right? I grabbed this intentionally with quotes there. Okay, here's some MIPS ASM printer, but this surely should. This is even different. Why is this returning this with a fucking capital N? But this is only for debugging or what? Emit set directives? Like, this makes no sense. This is something we had nowhere else. Here they have starts with what a bloody mess. Here they have starts with get ABI option. I mean, it's funny always it starts with business. The problem is where is which combination. Like, I mean, obviously this is also different than the others. Like each freaking code path has other variations of this. Thank you very much. That is truly confusing. And I mean, that's also why I patch stuff back and forth, right? Like 1 month I patch it that way, then other stuff breaks, I patch it the other way. Absolutely ridiculous. Like 25 years later, it's still ridiculous. And now we have like C, C++, GNU and stuff sucked, and now we have LLVM, Clang and Rust, and it sucks even more. Because everything new with new bugs, because nobody ever took the efforts to sync this with history and invent their own mistype variations that nobody tested, because obviously nobody except ourselves is still using it. This is so bizarre. What do we even want to try now? I have the suspicion this file is not used because... Did I even rebuild this already? Do we have any warnings here? I mean, it looks like it does the right thing. Okay, this fails quickly. So we link that with what even? It's the default compiler, right? That should be GCC. 32-bit MS... Wait, this is again something else. Wait, this is... It currently says 32-bit MSB relocatable. This is actually the mostly right one. Maybe just some files are wrong, depending on with... Yeah, look at that, even... Like the other file I filed was actually correct. Why is it building some stuff? I really hate wasting time like this. This is actually mostly right. I mean, I'm not sure about the 32-bit MSB relocatable. That's why we have these files here to double check. Okay, it's actually... Yeah, actually this is right. So why is the other file not right? So all the other files, or many of the other files are... So actually, okay, so this is actually a... Maybe this is because it's relinked. The other files... What a mess. The thing is, I'm really tired of fixing so many issues. I really would for a change, like one day that stuff just works. One day I just want to sit here and it's like, hey, it just freaking works here. So some... That's also a YouTube comment. So I'm pretty sure this somehow regressed recently. And that is what people always overlook, right? People always just change some random stuff without too much testing, and they overlook that it wastes hours of other developers' stuff not working anymore. So this probably is Rust's own elf writer, because they have somehow some own elf concatenating whatever pseudo linker thing somewhere. I mean, maybe it is a code. Did I try already changing this? You know what, let's try one last thing. Did I try to change this already? So we have this thing disabled. Let's try. Did I try already to? By the way, theoretically, soft ABI not compatible with. Okay, fine. It still applies. So let's not try wasting our time. So I changed. What did I build currently? Did I rebuild this after changing that? Probably not right repos, because we currently have GNU ABI N32 in here. Okay, let's try. I believe I didn't rebuild this build somehow, editing that while doing changes. Oh, this really just finished. Hey, even Itanium builds, although we don't have Rust there. Did I not build this program? Let's change into there instantly and double check what we... Oh, this is not yet patched. Okay, now it's N32. The question is if this is in sync with... Anyway, we will see in a second. Another thing is whether this really is max. I mean, maybe it actually should maybe max atomic 34. Anyway, let's see what happens. And that is also why I constantly need to try this, right? If you're wondering why does this unsuccessful little hobby YouTuber randomly try so much stuff, this code base is so large. I've seen a lot in 25 years, but I mean, I can remember a lot of stuff, but I mean, obviously not even the LVM developers could often tell you which code, like LVM Rust and all the stuff coming together, which code path is used where, is the right spec file used. I mean, we could test. The thing is, it's not even super easy to verify that the rustc compiler is including the correct files there. The easiest, the problem is also because it's such a convoluted build system, right? With C, with makefiles, you could just check, you could build, like with classic makefiles, you would see the compiler invocation. With modern quiet makefiles, you would need to build with verbose, and then you could easily use the C compiler and look at the pre-processed source file, or then the generated assembly file. Like with Rust and Cargo and all the modern build system stuff, it's so much more hidden, which it's also somehow silly, right? We optimized, like all the modern build systems, I would say they are more optimized for the end user experience, which ironically barely build stuff from source these days, and unoptimized it for developers when developers do not instantly see what's even going on, right? Look, constantly I need to spend so much time tweaking, googling, grabbing and tweaking build systems to build with verbose outputs so that I can even see what's going on. So I'm not even sure, like I probably should make a poll just for fun. But usually when I make polls here on my main channel, stuff is also coming out. I mean, why do I do these polls? I mean, not only to your entertainment and inspire you to think. It's like I need to change it actually to see the results without voting myself. I mean, sometimes I do them for fun, or what should I really do? Like, hey, I should do microkernel. The YouTube audience agrees, 113 votes or 40%. So hey, 40 plus votes agree I should do microkernel. This builds suspiciously long. Does it even, maybe this builds even? Does this link now? Actually, maybe I should, maybe don't have that much other stuff building, but did this really fix something? Wow, maybe this fixed something. Like, yeah, pro tip, with all those ABI names, have it more in sync. I'm not sure if it just built. Oh no, this is still building artifacts. It's still x86, or this is building so long. Actually, we're probably not yet even building. This is so ridiculous. $400 megahertz? Yeah. Yeah, failed. Yeah, once upon a time we had Rust working for MIPS 64 and 32, so that was not that. Maybe they still have that. Oh, this is such a mess. Should we give up on Rust on SGI? The font looks really nice. That is Comic Code, a commercial font, that one of the few fonts I actually really licensed in my life. So happy that you like it. Yeah. I believe maybe the Sun Ultra Spark font was not too unsimilar. Ironically, or at least the one in the Linux kernel. Maybe that's the one that the Solaris kernel used. I have no idea. Let's revert that for a second and see. Let's see if that build. So sometimes my poor man's bisecting here is, instead of real bisecting, at least like bisecting in our T2 sources of the last more major version that probably could have built, potentially, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Should we? Do we have? Yeah, there is someone really fighting with me about. I'm missing the point. Also, you don't see this. But now you see this. Am I wrong here? Is the more main channel? Am I wrong? Am I accusing the GNU Free Software Foundation wrongly about unprofessional, being unprofessional? Please explain that to Red Hat, SUSE Canonical, all the others doing pointless work of freezing the library. Probably they all will hire you because I know better. You will be surprised how many people wanted to hire me, but I didn't want to work on all. I was even sitting in Apple's conference room, man. But I did not want it to work. If I wanted to work in a big mega corporation, I would sit in a big mega corporation. But I want to have my peace and my own Linux system. Pry my own Linux system out of my dead cold hands, man. Patches against which version? Git is exactly the tool where, I mean, this is like just look at this. I mean, you would wonder, like, why do I even spend? I mean, maybe I should reply once or twice, and not so often. Also, maybe feeding the YouTube algorithm and recommending my. I mean, this is like some person wants to convince me that it is totally fine not publishing CVEs, not publishing patches. Of course, publishing security patches to the last release version. I mean, not even doing that. I mean, this is so funny. Some Robert Jung fighting me so hard here of like, don't put CVE security news on your website. Don't release security patches because everyone is cherry picking, backporting. Like, why spreading news? Why spreading vital security information? I've no idea what is wrong with speaking. Is my brain wrong? Am I so like telling me I don't understand? Yes, I don't understand how to make money with open source, obviously, except YouTube and OnlyFans. News, so quotes, that still means taking and handling security vulnerabilities and the news and patches seriously and not an afterthought or no thought. They officially give up. Thanks, man. Thanks for feeding the YouTube algorithm and finally giving you remind me of once again, you are the only one complaining because I'm not the only one complaining, right? I mean, obviously, like ask all SUSE Red Hat and Debian complaining about Linux. I mean, I had a good friend from the States over here some weeks ago, and like you will be surprised, like who worked at Microsoft and other Silicon startups and stuff, and it's like other people in private tell me, so many people in private tell me like how shit the ecosystem, what low quality work and laughable infrastructure Microsoft does in Azure and stuff. And then YouTube comments, but YouTube trolls, I'm the only one complaining. You will be surprised how much some of my friends complain, even in bolder terms, in private, working in much bigger successful companies than I do. But I mean, I'm not the freaking only one complaining, but I mean, like I'm the only one complaining. Just go to Blog Fefe. I am the only one complaining. It's just, I mean, my wording here is golden compared to Felix von Leitner's complaining. But hey, I also complain about, like, Felix von Leitner is complaining. I am complaining about Felix von Leitner's really low quality C code. Like, just look at Gatling and Dietlipsy. It's like big German security researcher tries to do C code, and it's more awful than industry standard. But yeah. Anyway, because I'm simply refusing to understand, not able to understand how things work, and I don't like, here, you have it. Don't watch this YouTuber. This fucking moron in front of the camera does completely not understand how open source works. I'm only doing open source for 25 years, but I totally don't get how open source works. You read it here first on my own YouTube comments. Other YouTubers would simply delete such comments or ignore them. But anyways, one wise man once said, never fight the stupid. Yeah, I mean, never fight the stupids. Like, YouTube troll looks in the mirror and, okay, so this freaking worked previously. This was also my live on YouTube. Thankfully this glass was, I didn't spill the last. It freaking worked how I effing patched it. I knew it freaking worked when I was like, Recurring theme, upstream tries to do some stuff and does it lower quality than, but I don't know how open source works, yet my patch freaking worked. I think I even did my due diligence, and I think I've run, did I not make a YouTube video 6 months ago? The first time ever an SGI machine executed Rust code? Something of that sort. Anyway, yeah, don't find this stupid. I mean, this is so ridiculous. I made a video on my Moment channel. The unprofessional, we could theoretically stop that, right? Because we would want to. So it did previously, like, as setup and patched, it did build. Even this. So I probably spent 1 hour already on this nonsense. Yeah, I spent 1 hour on this nonsense, and I'm not further, except like previously it did work as setup and patched in this not open source understanding unsuccessful woman plus amazing contributing developers. It did work previously until upstream broke it again. So what do we do now? We debug even more, right? When they go low and break shit even more, then the thing is that this stuff is also so complex, right? That is, like, if it would not be so embarrassingly complex, so humiliating complex, it wouldn't take so much time to fix this bloody shit. So the good news is it did work. The bad news is it broke in probably hard to debug ways. Maybe I simply diff, famous last words, maybe I simply diff. Maybe we diff this. And I mean, I have the suspicion that will be 100,000 lines of changes. And that is also why I hate, with every pathing day, I hate overly complex projects more and more, because I constantly have to fix them, right? And like it takes other IT computer science professionals to get a $200,000 salary previous video, and I need to sit here on your patronage and try to fix what other AAA ace developers break in the Silicon Valley. But anyways, official give up, leave you alone in your delusion, peace for everyone. Yeah, but coming back to this, is it, like I only said previous video, right? The glibc people have security vulnerabilities like all C code out there, and they don't publish it on their website. They don't make a new release. They don't publish a patch set. Is it too much to be expected from a AAA, speaking of AAA ace developers, is it too much expected of the base C library of the GNU plus Linux ecosystem to have security news on their website, to release a fixed version or patch? I don't even expect that they release a new major version, like a .1 release with CV fixes, or the patch, like Musel, like OpenSSH. There once was even a bug in OpenSSH. They had a patch level 2. It's like due, but I don't freaking, like with 25 years experience in the industry, I don't understand, like everyone anyway does it, like SUSE and Red Hat anyway run other versions. It's like who cares what they're freaking running on? And it's like Free Software Foundation, GNU, glibc are not the vendor. Like the vendor are the Linux distributions. Like no, the GNU Free Software Foundation has the software. They are the vendor. They release it. Other Linux distributions do reuse it. It's like oh, my brain is hurting. Is my brain defect, or it's like dude, this is such an absolutely crazy thread. It's absolutely mind blowing, this thread. Also, this was wrong. Just wanted to prove a point here. Yeah, it's still freaking not there. There is not breaking security news, CVE, no patch. Like you download the last version and it is major, once in a decade major security. It's like, but my expectations are wrong, of course, sir. Of course, sir. And my English is so bad as well. Maybe I shouldn't. With my bad English, I probably should not make YouTube live streams, obviously. I should obviously not try to educate people with my bad understanding in English. So, diff stat. Yeah, my epic Ryzen. Yeah, 35,600 files changed with 4 million insertions. 4 million, like, dude, that is... I think this is more than... Like, yeah, let's quickly find out what's going on with MIPS in 4 million changes. Nah. MIPS hardware, accept MIPS, treats, none, silent, none, clear the signaling bit. Here is something, if any, 64A6. Here is more. MIPS 64 architecture. Oh, they added C-Sky. Wait, they added C-Sky? Should we try to build it? C... Ah, wait, C-Sky, 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 C-Sky. Should we try to build that? So this is the code we touched. The only ABI supports is 032. Oh, that wasn't true. I mean, maybe we add there in printf. Yeah, MIPS allowed features. Oops. Here is some compute ABI info. Okay, they changed the default all. Oh no, it's, they changed the default. Okay, but it is only R6. Yeah, sometimes bootstrap. Yeah, that is really. I mean, that is also why, if you are wondering, here's what is this? Clean config lib rust MIPS 64 release 6. That is also why I often simply trial and error rebuild stuff, because diffing and reading and whatnot takes just so much longer. Here's some things. It's valid to use 032. Fix me. It's valid to use 032 and MIPS 64 triplet, but the backend can't handle this yet. It's better to fail here than. So that is just removed. Where is it even in? Oh, this is LLVM Clang. And then Spark. And that's also my recurring theme, right? I said it so often, like a broken record. 20 years ago, we only needed a C compiler to build all of the Linux stuff. Now we need not only C++, but LLVM Clang and Rust. So we basically quadruple the time needed to fix all this, like patch and fix all this stuff here. Here's some multi-lib stuff. Which is it even? Is it in LVM or? This looks a little bit LVM. Yeah, LVM project. Here is GNU ABI, where this is LVM. Yeah, and this is changes so large, even a Ryzen 7950X at nearly 6 GHz boosting needs. We need a more. We surely, like for software that complex, we need a more efficient grep to grep 4 million changes. Hello, grep. You still there? All right, we could also actually have continued this build. Did I control C that or? No, that is still. Maybe I should diff that and then less the diff. Calculating line numbers, thank you very much. Is this grep not jitted in the meantime? Like, hello? Hello, grep, are you fine? Is that the only occurrence in... It's the only occurrence on all of it. So I think it bred... I mean, the LLVM version does it. That is here a funny typo. Get triple ABI, where is that? Is get triple is MIPS 32 ABI. I mean, the major thing is this change. I wonder if we should revert it. Welcome everyone. Yeah. I mean, it's no wonder that so many other open source projects and people give up and stuff, and with I wish in retrospect, maybe I should not have gotten into this open source Linux thing. I certainly would be richer, maybe happier. This is so frustrating. Software really should be so much more simple. It is absolutely hilarious what overly complex systems we create. You know what we do? We need to maybe we revert that. Maybe we restore it to what I had there and see if that fixes the build. Alright, actually no, oh shit, I just deleted that, didn't I? Does this... I mean, this is funny. They had their ABI. This also doesn't make sense. They didn't have their N64. I should check who patched it in there. Yeah. To be expected. I wanted to revert that. New profile effects in Discord. Wonderful. Exactly what we waited for. So we want that. Oops. So what was it? previously. Eflex arch. What did I had here? Arch. Okay, that we. They have files without tabs or what? Yeah. Contains, so my stuff had if that contains options slightly different. Okay, so let's div that and I guess give it a try. Contains. I mean, ironically, I didn't even grab for GNU ABI anyway. So that is also actually LVM ABI name and not ABI contains. Okay, let's see what happens. Can't get worse than not building. What did I had here? Elf something? Wish me luck. Yeah, and then we theoretically, I mean, like 1 year later, I finally want to release the most amazing T2 release ever, and then I'm holding back. I mean, sure, I would not need to support MIPS 64. Of course, it's my fault that I even support and work and stuff. Appreciate this vintage architectures. If I would have kept all the sources, probably that would have cut significantly. But the problem is, I mean, yeah, pro tip, especially if you don't have a 1750X, keep the sources. The only thing is if we constantly, I mean, I built another version in between, fair enough. Also this, this finally built there, but let's pause it because we want performance. But if you constantly patch your patches, then means I also don't like that Rust first. Can we fully disable that? Yeah, I'm not a fan that it builds like 1 minute. Builds first x86 and like maybe twice, stage 0, stage 1, whatever. Micro dependencies. Nah. That is, by the way, a load like previous video, right? Epic 256 epic threads where my local Ryzen is like twice as fast or so, just due to the sheer single, at times single threaded, like here, and boosting too, although this is at times whatever. Like, yes, this kind of load way faster on Ryzen 750X or Threadripper than Epic. Fingers crossed. I don't have the highest hopes. There probably is more to that. I mean, we didn't... I mean, to no one's surprise, this were not the biggest changes. Which file was it? Just interested who patched that. The other last person. Compiler rustc. Did I click that? Rust. C code gen. Static single assignment form. Source back. So I am not the greatest fan of this pointless source directories, right? It's like, yeah, one more click there, one more metadata. I mean, maybe it's, we will see. Hey, blame. No available, navigation bar, immediate access everywhere, wonderful. No. Failed to merge, this is still, like, how can they always break this stuff so much? Right, I thought I searched for N32. Here is some support explicit 32 MIPS. Introduce synthetic object file to ensure all exported and used symbols. The linking of constraints of MIPS-based targets. Architecture speak flags must be the same as all the other object files passed to the linker 3 months ago. As usual, the summary sounds so. This was so somehow it doesn't work. It worked before with my patch, and now it doesn't. That's unfortunate. It also has the wrong, it should not be MIPS 64 release 2. I have no idea where that is coming from. It should be MIPS 4. This is such a waste of time. Is that the only? It's the only R meta, so that is probably differently incorrectly generated somewhere, so that is standard. And thanks to this new so this is our cross-compiler. It should be MIPS 64T2 links GNU ABI N32. So these are all built for, so where does it, like where would it, stage 2, but this kind of detective work you need to do to fix this modern stuff. What was the I so hate all those. How to extract an archive, I always forget this. Welcome everyone. It's just RX. What is, maybe it was RX 32, but this is correct N32 binary. So this O files, so probably when this Rust internal, how did they call it? Pseudo concatenating our matter linkers thing. I was not close to wrong. Hello? Oh, just slow. I need 0 frames though. Synthetic object file to enjoy exported use symbols, participate in the linking. So this new synthetic object file stuff from 2022 or whatever. So their own synthetic object file stuff, so that should be there though. I think so, and yeah, like good luck debugging this, right? I mean, debugging normal problems like debugging a compiler, 25 years in the making. It should be that file, but good luck debugging this. Wait, what is this here? Copied from... Wait. This, maybe this is the shit. What is this? Create object file. Here is MIPS Arch. We might be onto something. Here, I think we need... Here, MIPS Arch. We need that. I mean, it incorrectly had that, so... So, like, I like how people like Rust, the new, more secure, new secure memory safe stuff, and we code, like, we copy bit definitions from, we have run a C compiler and copied some bits out of it. Quality engineering at its finest. We could rebuild that. Here's like here's create object. Here's another create object file, and here they map any to. Oh, this is my. So which one? So this is the one I just patched, right? And what is still the other is the ABI. Where do they have the? What do they create here? eFlex for architecture? And where are other? What file is that here? Create object file. This is so unfulfilling work, I can tell you. And maybe I should not even be doing it. Like, you really question your life choices and why you sit here day after day fixing other people's low quality code. Was the arch, where did I just... Was that here? No, it wasn't here. Eflex, MIPS API. I wonder if this is even used, because it obviously... Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait. Oh. Did we change this to MIPS 64? The MIPS 64 code path doesn't have that here. Remember when I earlier changed this to... But we need that here anyway for building MIPS 64. Interesting. Okay. The thing is saving all those half-finished work. Fix file diff. Which the question is now which, because... I mean, this should be all automatic, right? This should come from... I mean, it's silly that it's hard-coded, because this should also be... I mean, they just don't have a good architecture. They simply don't have a good architecture for this. Hard-coding some bits all over the place here and there. MIPS 64, MIPS Arch 4 patch disabled, because we don't need that yet. Given that other is, let's see what we had here. Maybe it previously was. The question is, what did I previously, so what do I have currently in here? Maybe we don't necessarily need the other after all, but the question is now, it was this one, right? Let's cat MIPS 64 and 32. I actually had here MIPS that I just changed. So this was there for a reason that we just changed. So that is not needed after all. And the other did probably not match. So maybe that builds. And theoretically, so where do we store? I mean, theoretically, I mean, here we have a MIPS 64 patch already. Maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe we, so this probably would make some hard-coded sense, I guess, of how shitty this code can be. So, I mean, I didn't test the other code path then, but I guess it has a chance to work. Hello to India, happy to hear, and greetings to Russia. Despite this ongoing war in Ukraine. All the other citizens, of course, welcome. So, fingers crossed that this one last quirk could potentially make this work again. How's even my YouTube stats going? Nothing to hide. More open and transparent business than most. Unprofessional FSF stuff still running. But I wanted to check. What do I want to check? I wanted to check if people even watch this live stream. Ah, some do. Amazing. Hey, amazing. People tune in. Yeah, so I hope this fixes that. I'm really currently not impressed by this rustcode. It's also absolutely, I mean, sure, it's not mainstream, although, I mean, at least some MIPS was embedded. But that's also the thing, right? You reinvent the wheel and you need to re-implement all the bits from decades of historic craft. What I want to check, all right. MIPS Cavium. What came? Octeon, so yeah, was a multi-core chip, so systems with Octeon, Cavium. I don't want ARM version 8. Yeah, if you have, I probably should check. There were commercial users of T2. Maybe I should ping them if they have still some system in the attic to donate. Hey, some $40. Did they not hit massive? I don't have prices here. Oh, here it goes, multi-core. Ah, $650 for 16 MIPS 64 cores. What are we building? And then we still need to rinse and repeat the same boring ABI bits for Spark version 9, which is similarly crazy implemented, right? Previous live stream some month ago. I mean, if this still doesn't build, I never put printfs. Can you just rust printf stuff out in the middle of the compiler? Which part is that now? Except macro dependencies. Finished something, dist, rust standard, GNU ABI N32. Did that really do something? Stage 1, stage 2, creating uninstall, uninstalling component, GNU ABI N32. Did this really freaking finally? I mean, it's a little bit silly that they have this in MIPS. I mean, because it's MIPS 64, right? It's no wonder that, hey, this freaking did something. We fixed it, yay, only took 1.5 hours. Anyway, I have to run theoretically. Yeah, let me run, get some more groceries for the family. What amazing if you Patreon, OnlyFans or YouTube membership to keep my family fed, and don't forget to subscribe for all this craziness. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something, especially maybe not to try and make money with open source or getting into overly complex projects like GCC, LLVM, Rust, and have a good day, and I hope to see you soon for all this next fun stuff. And